Welcome to the New Earth Portal. We are coming to you live from the Pisgah National Forest,
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
This is where we live.
Soon.
I live here.
She lives here. I live here in spirit.
Anyway, today,
Oh, this is Susan Brown. This is my friend Susan Brown.
this is Hope Gold. So, what we're doing is we're trying to bring out to the world information on spirituality. Today, we're going to talk about intuition. We're going to talk about all different things that come up in people's lives these days that they're not really realizing what's going on, like intuition.
And it's coming up a lot on a much larger scale than has been on the planet before. And some people are calling this the ascension process. Some folks are calling this a big shift, or they're speaking about it interdimensionally. You know, there are different ways to discuss it, different terminologies that are out there. But we want to assist and be a part of that process, so we are here.
And also for people, every day when people have questions, when something is going on in your life and you're going, I can't just really figure that out. So we're going to be here trying to explain those things
Exactly.
so it doesn't feel like it's something unusual. And the important part about intuition is that everybody has intuitive capabilities.
Yes.
It's not for the psychics only. It's our new vibration and the new energy where we're bringing in love and light, and it's just
Yes, we are. We are
for some reason that
so
came out. I don't know where it
bringing
came
love and
from.
light. It is love and light.
It
It
is.
is.
It
Totally,
is.
totally. And I think learning to work with your intuition and really honoring it and seeing how it is this natural connection to a source that is greater than us. It is an internal guidance system. And using it and learning to work with it on a daily basis is part of this whole shift. It is
So
infused into all of it.
let's give them some tools so we don't lose them.
Let's define intuition.
Okay.
How does intuition work for you?
Intuition comes to me as just like a fast thought process. It's not even I think about having intuition. It's just like thoughts of like friends that are either going to come by, or I feel this is so totally true, or whatever it is. When I went to buy a restaurant, I looked in and I said, oh, that's where I want to live. So it just comes into me as a thought. There's also feelings when I
It
can get an all over
feels right.
feeling, where my body says, yes, that is right.
And for me, the feelings kind of, I run them by my gut. So the whole classic gut knowing phenomenon. And I use that very consciously now. But everybody has that. And that's what I think most people identify um, with in terms of noticing their intuition in their daily lives is they got a weird feeling about something. And usually that feeling is right here in the gut. And you'll either get anxiety around it, something just won't feel good, or something will feel really right and resonate. And when it does that, it's like there's almost a heaviness to the gut, but it's not anxious. It's just a knowing. You just know. And that's also called claircognizance, is clear knowing. And that's part of the intuitive process too. So that's kind of how I get it, just off the cuff. That's how it works for me.
And I think also the important thing is everybody gets it different. Not
They do.
everybody gets it the same. You
Right.
get different feelings on your fingers. You get knowledge.
Right.
Some people get sight. And so the whole thing is to be able to work with it the way
It can be
you get
random
it.
thoughts. We both had it happen this morning. We're here at Mountain Light Sanctuary, and I was in the bathroom, and you would be surprised how many
Downloads in the
intuitive
bathroom.
messages come through in the shower and on the potty. And so
Mine's the shower.
the shower,
I get a lot of information in the shower.
I'm,
Are you good with that?
we'll just leave it at that. It happens. But I had this random, I thought, this random flash or thought of a friend of ours. And gosh, wonder if we'll see her today, or I would like to see her today. It was something along those lines. And I come out of the potty and walk out into the main room, and within minutes, she walked in through the door. And then Susan walked in through the door. And then we all were like, do. Oh my God, I was just thinking about you. And we all just had this moment. And it's always magical. It never stops being amazing and magical and fun, like when something happens and you get these confirmations. So watch your random thoughts, what you think are, or your little daydreams. It can come in as a vision and it feels like a daydream. And then that could be an intuitive flash. Okay, so how do we encourage you to do it? How do you work with it? Because everybody's different. It comes to us differently, and it's really important to honor that so you don't feel like you don't do it well or you don't have gifts. Because
And I
we all
think
do.
that's the most important thing is everybody is different. There is no one way of doing it. And like my philosophy is everything is simple. When you start making a whole big deal about it, it just doesn't work.
Right.
It just, everything is simple. So for me, what I like to do is I write lists.
Right.
So like I go throughout my day and I think about the things that happen throughout the day and things that are on point about. Like if I got an intuition of a friend coming by, which we both had that same intuition today, and or a friend of mine was going to call, or I felt something about somebody, and then they called and said, "Oh, I'm feeling this way," you know. Or sometimes you have a feeling of sadness, and then all of a sudden your friend calls you, and she's going, "Oh, you know, I'm having a hard time with this." So think about what happens throughout the day.
Track it.
Track it.
Start to notice because it happens more than you realize.
And when you start writing, like at the end of the day, you can write a list and go, okay, I knew my friend was calling, or I knew this was going to happen. And what happens is, as you keep on doing it day by day, you start seeing the list getting bigger. And then what happens is you have more trust. And that's a big part of, you know, opening up your intuition is having that trust.
Right.
And then the other part is, for me, is being grateful. I
like
think
that.
grateful goes for absolutely everything in my life is just being grateful
Yeah.
and just more abundance.
Yeah, definitely.
More abundance. We'll talk about the gift guides at one time
Right.
for abundance.
Right. And there are romance angels too. We'll talk about that one day.
I'd like to know more.
Yeah. So go into that one day. But quickly, very quickly, additional tips on how to work with your intuition. Definitely track. Start to notice when it comes up. Also, start to take note of just how your body feels and reacts to things, because that's when you'll start to really get a sense of how it's going to work for you. So start to just tune in if something's not feeling right, or it is feeling right, or you're getting what you think is a little daydream that then has a nugget of truth, or something happens from that a little bit later. Just start to take notice of that. What's coming through for you, what's unique to you and your body. And then you can also meditate, which sounds cliche, but meditation is really just a way to center yourself and kind of go into a zone where you are open to what feels like those random thoughts.
And then you can come check out our video on meditation, what it is and what it isn't.
Yes, and then Susan will lead you in a meditation in the forest.
Yes.
And I will lead you in just how to stare and go into the zone like this.
And that's the whole thing.
We're just
Everybody
gonna go in
does
the
it
zone.
different.
Everybody does it differently.
Yes. So we're very interested in also about your abilities on intuition, how it works with you. Contact us, and
Our
you know,
websites are on our little channel description, and we work with people in this vein. And so if we can help you in any way, please let us know.
and also if there's other things that you'd like to hear about. Any other information that's going on in that
Message
spiritual
us for
world?
that
Yes.
as well. So,
Excellent. Well,
okay,
thank you.
I think we're good.
We are good. We are good.
And we are really good. We are so good. Watch me take my time stopping the video.